quiet for a second.
They like Derek.
We got to hand out some NBA medals. He had Giannis and Jokic battling it out last night. Greek Freak, 30 points in a win. Joker and 35 in the loss. Both those guys, however, missing out on a medal. Nick, who we got today?
All right, bronze medalist, rookie alert, LaMelo Ball. 24, 7, and 10, and most impressively, the best plus-minus of any player in the league last night.
Fun
LaMelo Ball. Me, Brandon, and Wilds, we went 3 for 3 Rookie of the Year pick. He's looking good. Silver medalist, Booker.
I picked Danny Ainge.
What? We all picked LaMelo Ball for Rookie of the Year, I thought.
I picked Ball.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Finish.
Devin Booker with the silver medal led the NBA in scoring last night. Gold medalist, someone who doesn't get talked about enough on this show. LeBron James. 28, 14, and 12. No Anthony Davis. Played 48 minutes in a double overtime game 2 days ago. Played 44 minutes in an overtime game yesterday. Doesn't matter. You can nap on the bench. So there it is. There's your medalist last night. Brandon, what was the whoa, whoa, whoa? I was trying to give you credit. You said LaMelo should have gone number 1.
Yeah, I said LaMelo. Did you say LaMelo?
I said he was my Rookie of the Year pick.
You said,
I bet a lot of money on it.
You okay?
Okay. You're wrong, sir.
I'm just making sure.
How dare you?
He's going to break out his receipt if you don't believe him. Wilds.
Okay, that's
Give me a runner-up. Who missed the cut?
Oh, we have a few missed the cut. The double A. I thought you were going to call a foul here. Draymond, end of the game, gets the ball with 5 seconds left, puts up a beauty here. Oh, is that going to go in? No. Draymond's like, oh, I just barely missed it. To his credit, he thought that the Spurs were going to foul him and he would be able to go to the line. Actually, a smart play. And then after the game, Steve Kerr's like, yeah, by the way, I should have told you, Spurs don't foul in that situation. Popovich doesn't like that. They've actually cost him a few games. The other one, John Morant. It's like, oh, thought I was going to get a foul here, but this one ends up going in. So you know what? You win some, you lose some.
That's nice.
I got to take for you. I think Nick will like this one. We talk so much, Nick, about the GOAT, right? Tom Brady's not the GOAT because he won his 7th Super Bowl. He's not the GOAT because he's been in 10 or he's been playing for 100 years or all the numbers or stats or trophies or games, any of it. Tom Brady's the GOAT because he can stay up for an entire night game. Doesn't need a nap. You know why there's some question about who the GOAT is in the NBA? Because LeBron James cannot do that thing. LeBron James, I know he played back-to-back games. LeBron James needing a little schluffy, a little nap, a little night-night. That is why there's question. Who's the real GOAT in the NBA? No one's saying, is it Mahomes or is it Brady? It's always Brady. He can stay up, doesn't need a nap. LeBron James, getting old, little tired. Don't know who the real GOAT is. There you go. When you can stay up for a whole game, my friend, I will crown you yesterday.
Saying I'm sleepy.
Taking a nap?
That's how he ended his press conference yesterday. That's a true story.
There you go.
That's a true story.
There you go. Back here talking Russell Wilson now in the latest report that Russ has grown increasingly frustrated with the Seahawks' inability to protect him. I mean, he kind of does have a case, guys. He's been sacked 394 times the last 9 seasons, 69 more times than any other quarterback. It was also reported over the weekend that multiple teams have called to check on Russ's availability in a trade. Brandon, Russ is your guy. What do you make of all of this?
Woo. Jenna, Russell Wilson is beyond frustrated. I think Russell Wilson is trying to figure out how to move on in a classy way. That's what I truly believe. Like, Russ is a guy that's not concerned about, like, how you think about me and what do you think about me. He's really concerned about what type of legacy do I leave behind. He's trying to leave the legacy that he did things the right way so other guys can follow that same blueprint. So I think he struggles with how to move on in a classy way, in a way where people can look at him and say, you know what, he still did it the right way, because that's important for Russ. Here's the problem. The problem, and everybody's talking about it, you got Jason Lockenford talking about, they need to protect him. Well, they drafted one guy, one offensive lineman since they had Russell Wilson. They're always trying to figure out who's the steal out there in free agency, or who's the guy that, you know, should have a bounce back year, and they never really go out there and solidify that offensive line. Now, a lot of people are like, well, Russell Wilson, you're holding on to the ball a little long. Well, Pete Carroll, The offense that you put in place is we're going to run on first, we're going to run on second, and if it's third and manageable, we're probably going to run on third down, and then we're going to take shots. I was there. We had no quick game. There wasn't an established game outside of Doug Baldwin, and then you had Tyler Lockett, where it was like you had an option route. You either break in or you break out. That was it. So Russell Wilson, if the deep ball's not there, of course he's going to hold on to the ball, definitely when you have that type of offensive line in front of you. So that is the problem. That's one of the problems. The other problem, as we know, is like, are we going to let Russ cook? Russ is the guy, Nick, as you know, he's going to scramble around. He's going to make plays happen. But at the end of the day, you need to decide if you believe in Russ to drop back and throw it 30, 40 times. And I don't think they believe in Russ. Well, actually, I know they don't believe in Russ because I was there. Every day before practice, I would sit there with the quarterbacks, with Coach Shoddy and Russell Wilson, and we would talk shop. And we would also do quarterback drills. I would actually be in the quarterback drills, like dropping back, 3-step drops, 5-step drops, 7-step drop. So I heard a lot of stuff. Well, this week, Pete wants us to run a little bit more. Oh, well, what about this? Can't we get into this a little sooner? Or what about our no-huddle offense? It's like, no, this is what Pete wants. So there's a huge philosophical difference there in Seattle.
Brandon.
Now, go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? I just want to ask you a question real quick about what you were saying. Because didn't it seem, though, to you that the first half of the year they tried to change that? The first half of the year, the whole story was they were finally letting Russ cook. Is his frustration that they went away from that? Or is his frustration that he didn't have the right ingredients in order to successfully cook all year long? Because they were a different style offense the first half of this season.
It comes down to what Pete Carroll wants, right? You got to think about it. Pete Carroll has been running the same defense for 10 years. We talked about this all year. I said, Nick, everybody in the league knows what's going to happen when you line up in a 3-by-1 on 3rd and short. You got KJ Wright, who's going to come out and guard Tyreek Hill, that number 3 spot. He's going to run an over route. And you got speed versus a big. It's the same thing. Pete Carroll is a stubborn man. Pete Carroll's awesome. I love Pete Carroll. I can pick up the phone and probably call Pete Carroll, and he probably answer. But at the end of the day, like, I got a job to do. And we know that Pete Carroll's stubborn. So when you look at the defensive side, same thing offensively. He's looking at what did we do to get to those Super Bowls? And that's what they did. They played good defense, and they ran the ball. But you got a once-in-a-lifetime talent in Russell Wilson, a once-in-a-lifetime leader in Russell Wilson. You got to let him cook. LeBron James right now is shooting the ball like he's Ray Allen. He's shooting as if he's one of the greatest shooters the league has ever saw. So what happens if LeBron James had 3 or 4 bad games? Are we going to then go to LeBron and say, LeBron, go do what you've been doing? And that's what they did to Russell Wilson this year. Russell Wilson, they let him cook. He was doing a great job. And then all of a sudden, Nick, he started throwing a couple of picks. And then Pete Carroll, he got a little nervous, got a little anxious, and said,
now,
and went
all right,
back.
so this makes sense now. So it's a combination of the two. It's that you finally were letting me play a modernized offense. I had a bad month, and you immediately said, okay, rip that up. That didn't work. On top of the fact that the team is not doing a good enough job personnel-wise surrounding with pieces, most notably the offensive line. Okay, so that, I think that's the messaging as far as what's going on in Seattle. Wilds, the other piece of this, I think, for Russ, is we have to recognize Russ's experiences since entering the league and what he has seen, and I think we are seeing this across the NFL, is we are in the era of go for it. Not only go for it, you will be rewarded if you do. Russ's firsthand experience, guess what? The Seahawks were bold. They had just signed Matt Flynn. After 2 weeks of practices, they said, nope, we're going with Russell Wilson. He rewarded them with a championship. The Denver Broncos, we're okay. We have Tebow. We made the playoffs. Go sign Peyton Manning. They go to 2 Super Bowls. They win 1. Philly, we're okay. We're drafting, I think, 11th. Move up to number 2. Draft Carson Wentz, and during the year, acquire players at the trade deadline. You win a Super Bowl. The Chiefs, they had Alex Smith. They made the playoffs. Nope. Trade up, get Mahomes. They go to 2 Super Bowls. Tampa, Jameis Winston, what are we going to do? Go sign Tom Brady. In Russell Wilson's career, There are two types of teams that have shown up in the Super Bowl. The ones I listed and the damn Patriots. That's it. So he looks at it and says, what big move are we making? What move are we making?
Yeah.
What is the bold move we're making to, and I think it's why Aaron Rodgers is frustrated. He's like, man, look at the Rams. I don't know if it's going to work, but they are going for it. The Chiefs are going for it. The Bucs went for it. And I think Russ is frustrated by that, the offensive style notwithstanding. And Wild, that makes sense to me.